Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is where you're listening to this. This is the Truth Table, Unapologetic AF. We are coming at you tonight. This is the first launch of the podcast. We all kind of came together. They were guests on my prior podcast and kind of just formed a little crazy family. And we want to come to you tonight, talk about mental health, talk about domestic violence, just talk about everything that there is to talk about, raw and real and unfiltered. So I'm going to shoot it on over to Mike.
Guys, my name is Mike. Welcome to the podcast. Tonight we have a special guest, Paige Boosh Nation. If you all don't know her yet, get ready for something good. Paige, it's all yours.
Okay. Well, I want to share some of my story tonight, in a way that's very honest, like you guys said, unfiltered, and hopefully very hopeful too, because a big part of the reason I want to share my story is because so many people feel so alone, and that's how I felt for a very, very long time. So, my name is Paige. I am a single mom. I'm a content creator, a TikTok live host, and I guess I'm just gonna jump right in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything I've been through. Okay. When I was really young, it kind of starts there. When I was 12 years old, I dealt with SA, sexual assault. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say anything you want to, girl.
Okay.
Uncensored,
Yeah.
unfiltered.
Okay. I forget. I'm filtered because of TikTok. Guys, okay. But I dealt with sexual assault. So I had a neighbor friend basically sexual assault me, and I didn't know. I don't know that I fully understood what was happening or why. And I never dealt with it. So I'm just going to kind of glaze over some of these things, but they're things that kind of led me through everything I've been through. And when you don't heal and you don't sit and take the time to like, I don't know, just heal and take care of yourself and share what you've gone through. I definitely had patterns formed because of that. And so I had the sexual assault when I was 12, and I just buried that deep down. I never told a soul, never talked about it, and it was there, and that created confusion and all these things. Years later, I was in high school, and this is where I started having unhealthy relationships with authority because my coaches, basketball, and all the sports, all the things, and basketball was my favorite sport, and we had two male coaches, an awesome community. I love the girls on that team. We spent so much time together, but the coaches were assaulting many of the women on my team, and that happened for years and years and years, and so many people swept it under the rug. I'm telling you, people knew, like, people knew what was happening, and adults knew what was happening, and they kept swiping it under the rug. And my family was actually very involved, and they didn't necessarily do something specific to me besides, maybe some flirting, touching, but like they didn't do anything more. Not that that was okay. That was already crossing a line, but like my family played a big part in them actually getting, caught and quit being coaches. And they did do a year time for what happened. And that was it. But they got a slap on the wrist, which is awful. But at least they're out of the school systems now. And that is something, again, I didn't deal with. And since I wasn't as directly affected, and it was some of my best friends more directed, but they were my coaches. I trusted them. I didn't realize how much that affected me until I had kids of my own and until they started going to school. And that's when I realized how much that affected me. So anyways, moving on again, literally just a couple years later, and this is what I'm saying, like, you go through these things, you might not understand why certain things keep happening. I mean, I ended up in another unhealthy situation, and it's like situation after situation. Well, I had been sexually assaulted. I had dealt with all these things already. I hadn't dealt with them, is my point. So anyways, we move on, and I am in college, and I lived in like this party house with a bunch of girls, and I will never forget this moment, unfortunately, because I had a weekend there where I had gone to, my family had a wedding, my cousin got married, and um, I remember coming back to my house where I lived with these girls, and there was a big house party, and I was sober, and I decided to have a drink. They're trying to have me, get me to have a drink. Well, that very first drink was laced, and I did not know it. And this part's hardest probably for me to talk about, just because I didn't deal with it for such a long time. Like even now, um, that drink was laced, and
We love you.
love you too. But I had multiple men, like gang rape me, and because one drink was laced. So, and that, like, even the next morning, I like wanted to pretend I didn't even want to accept what happened, you know?
Mm.
Um,
Doesn't feel real.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It did not feel real, or I didn't want it to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like another thing. It happened, and I never told a soul for years and years, and not dealing with these things and not accepting that they happened. It led me into just another couple years later, the man that I met that I ended up marrying and ended up in this very abusive relationship. And it didn't start that way. I felt so worthless after what had happened to me in that house. I hated who I was. I I felt like I was stupid because I took a drink from somebody. I felt dumb. I wasn't those things, okay? If you're dealing with those things, you're not those things. But I didn't know any better, and I was young, and I just didn't know better. And it led me into a another bad relation, a bad relationship, honestly. Somebody who was doing things that I didn't know what love bombing was. I didn't know what these terms were that people now use much more often. And I'm glad that people talk about it now. But I had somebody, just come in and they wanted me, and I wasn't even about it right away. And eventually I caved, and we started this relationship, and it quickly became very mentally abusive. And I got pregnant really, really fast. And I ended up in a very long abusive relationship, very mentally draining. I like wrote notes over here, and I'm not looking at any of them. but, but I'm going to look at this one because this one always like I ended up in a situation where it was just so mentally abusive at first. That's kind of how it started. And I didn't know why, and I didn't know how I got to where I got or why I didn't leave sooner. Um, Now I understand a lot more. We've done a lot of healing. We've done a lot of work on ourselves. Um, but there was so much fear. There was so much like walking on eggshells. This man didn't like anything I did. And if you've ever been in a relationship where it's like mentally draining, or I kind of hate the word narcissist because it gets used a lot, but like this is like true narcissism, like
Yeah.
somebody who just, if I'm working, it's not good. Like if I'm not working, I'm staying home with the kids, you're wrong. Like that's stupid. You're an idiot. Like, oh, now you're working. Well, now who's taking care? Like, and no matter what I do, I'm not doing something right. And that plays on your mind. And I had a fear of leaving for the longest time because it wasn't just that. I would take a picture and post it somewhere and be called a slut, or definitely all the names. I've been called a lot of names. And I became a very quiet person. And I also, the manipulation of family. Like there's just so many layers
Yeah.
to domestic violence and getting into mentally being abused. There's a lot of layers to it. And I had a lot of fear. The walking on eggshells, waiting for the next time you're going to be mad and yell and scream at me. I was living in survival mode. If you know me now, you know me as a bubbly, fun, happy person. If you knew me then, you did not know. You knew me as a really good mom, um, and quiet, and she keeps to herself. Like the manipulation around keeping me away from my family, my friend. I didn't have any friends anymore because if I went out with my friends, I would end up in a big fight, a screaming match, potentially, um, you know, punching the wall. Like there's just
Yeah.
things I didn't want to deal with. And so finally I was like, you know what? We're just going to keep the peace. We're going to keep the peace. I'm going to do my best. We're going to keep the peace. So we got kids to take care. I got a kid to take care of, and we're going to keep the peace. And that's what I did for a very, very long time. And another thing with domestic violence is trying to leave. So I just want to like touch on it a little bit because most people don't leave the first time. And there's a statistic out there. Do you know it, Marin? It's like how many times it takes to leave?
Yeah. We were just talking about this on another episode. I don't remember at this minute, but yeah, it's
I
like,
think it's like, and this could be wrong, but it's like an average of like 7 times it
I think
takes to
it's
leave,
seven.
or
I
it
think
could be
it's seven.
more. I feel like that too. And I was definitely part of that statistic. Like, I remember, yeah, I remember when my kid was like 3, packing all my bags. He had
Google
just
says 7 attempts.
7 attempts. Okay, yes. So that's like the average.
Mm.
So many people, more or less. And I remember packing my bags and being like, okay, this was a horrible night. This man, this is, it's not safe for me here. But where would I go? What would I do? And I packed my bags, and then the next morning comes around, and then the love bombing. So it's a cycle of abuse, like, oh, everything's okay. Here's love. Like nothing happened. And then I was like, okay, maybe it'll be okay. Like maybe it'll be okay. Maybe we can do this. And so I'd end up staying. And that happened many different times.
You were trauma bonded.
Yeah, you're trauma bonded. Yeah. Yes. And I'd have the manipulation of, I wasn't working. So now you have money over me. And I remember another time trying to leave, and that was the thing. He cut me off from every single thing financially. And then I was like, well, what now? What now? Now we're here. Like, what am I supposed to do? So
It was like you were trying to run and you just kept trying to run, but every time you tried to run, he was putting a brick wall in front of you and just smack it, whether it was money or he was holding something else, or the kids, or there was always something that he was holding over your head to stop you from leaving.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's like you were on a
Absolutely.
treadmill running, just running in place without ever actually getting anywhere,
Yes.
I know
Yep.
my friend was in a similar situation, and like her whole struggle with leaving was money.
Yep.
Like she could not afford to have her and her child live on her own, so she stayed for like 6 more years.
Yes. And I know this is a little off the topic, but Paige, I could definitely see you with everything that you're doing, knowing who you are myself, being someone that might come up the way to help ladies and women through these similar things, which I'll talk to you about off air. And
yeah, I've actually talked to people about that before.
I figured you probably have. You're an
Yeah.
amazing person. You really are.
Oh, she is.
Thank
See,
you. Oh, so nice.
my story on it is like I was kind of a little bit on the opposite side of the spectrum, being a man and in a relationship with a narcissist. She alienated me from my friends. Like she would message my friends, my family, to the point that my friends and my family thought that that I was just a really like bad person. And so when it came time for me wanting to leave, people were like, they didn't want anything to do with me because they thought that I ruined the relationship.
Yes. Yep. That's part of the manipulation too, and why you stay, and all of a sudden you don't have friends, you don't have family, because they're good at making themselves look good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're just as good as making them look good too. Mine was the opposite. Mine, everyone knew they were bad, but me. I mean, I knew in my heart and in my gut, but I couldn't leave. So I would make him out to be this wonderful person. And I would make him out. I had took up for him, and y'all are wrong. No, knowing the whole time they were right, but
that's how I was with my son's dad.
Yeah.
Just like that, because I feel like I didn't want to like make it seem bad in like my son's perspective, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I was just like in my mind trying to make it better
Well, I
and
wanted my
talk it up.
family to love this man. He's supposed to
Yeah.
be my husband. He's supposed to be the father of my kids. I wanted my family to love and care about him, and they could kind of see through the cracks. Um, Eventually, obviously, they saw a lot more, but they did not know how bad it was. They really didn't until I left. Um, and then they saw everything because I was finally letting them see
Yes.
everything. Because
We
for the
all we
longest
hide
time, I
it
did
from
the
our
same
family.
thing. I
Yeah.
hid. Yeah, I did. And they knew he wasn't great because he was never around. But
Same.
yeah, he was never around. It was always me and my kids. And so when I finally left, which is so crazy to think about now, but when I finally left, like when it comes to my family, who are amazing people, this amazing family, and when I come around, it was like no different for my family when I left him because he was never around in the first place. It was no different for them. It was a huge change for me and my kids, but like to my family, they didn't see how big of a difference it was because they're just used to him never being there, which is crazy to think about now, but yeah.
I've
That's
gotten
the
to meet
cycle
your
of mental
family and
abuse, though. Like, what'd you say?
meeting your family. I got the pleasure of meeting her family, guys, and I'll tell you what, I am so glad that she has them because my family never had my back that way. But watching the way that her family had hers brought tears to my heart, my soul. Like, I'm telling you what, I'm so proud of you and I'm so grateful you have them because look at you now. Look at where you're at now. I you are literally one of the best friends I've ever had in my life. You are one of the most amazing mothers, live host, and just you have overcome so many things that people don't know about. And I don't know what you're going to go over here tonight, but I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm grateful to know you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I feel the same way about you, Mike. You know that, though. I hope.
He
You're trying to make
does.
me cry more.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
that family
goodness.
support is important, and not everyone has it. Like Mike was saying, I
I
was
know.
lucky, and I did. I mean, my family, just like you said, my family's wonderful, amazing. I have my parents been married for
Mhm.
50 years now, and
Yeah,
they never fight unless it's over who needs to go wash the dishes. I mean, like they supported me when I left, and literally came to my rescue. Literally came and picked me up when he went to prison. So I'm so glad you did have the support from your family because not everybody does have that. And that was,
absolutely. That's why I
yeah,
always tell people, I'm like, I wish I could just pull you over to my family right now,
and it
and they will
is.
love us. They really will. But
And
yeah.
see, my mom, she never had the best relationships. So I think that also played a part in it. Like I was just kind of used to like that kind of poor behavior that I just let it go.
Yeah, that makes
Mhm.
sense. Yeah. Well, going into like my turning point of I don't know how far, like I don't know how far you want me to go into or how much I want to go into like everything with that relationship, but basically I mean you get the gist of it. And it was just mentally draining and walking on eggshells, and I was just a shell of a person that I am now, which is kind of what we talked about. And my turning point, the day I finally just left, I don't know if it was like one certain thing. You know, the other thing with leaving was it cannot, it sometimes it's not safe. It's not safe to leave, especially in domestic violence. And there was times I did try to leave and it wasn't good for me. Actually, let me backtrack just a little bit before I talk about leaving.
Yeah.
I do like to talk about this sometimes, especially now that I've talked to more women and men who have both dealt with this. But sexual abuse within relationships is a real thing. And a lot of
Absolutely.
people feel like it's not, and they feel shame because of this. And so I like to mention it because there's so many people who think just because they're your partner you have to do XYZ, and you do not. And there's times I was literally raped by this person. um it just because he was my spouse doesn't mean he gets rights to everything
Absolutely.
of my body, and I need people out there to understand that too.
No
That's
means
not
no, no matter who it is. The ring
yeah,
on your finger doesn't mean you can't say no.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there's a lot of men and women both out there who feel like if you're my spouse, and I'm in a mood tonight. This is what we're doing. That's not, guys. If any of you has been through that, deep down, you felt how that felt on your end. It's not how it works.
Exactly.
So,
Yes. Yes. So I like to mention that because there's so many people who feel really, really alone in that. And it happens way more often than it should.
you're right.
Yeah. But moving on to finally leaving, there was multiple times I tried to leave, but he would he would get physical. And that's obviously scared me. And yes, I had this amazing family system, but I didn't tell them what was going on. I didn't know how they would react. I was scared. And I remember trying to leave and being just, having somebody scream at you or yell at you, and all you're trying to do is keep the peace and trying to escape for a moment or breathe. I remember feeling like I could never breathe ever. That was like a big thing. And I remember just like feeling like I'm always holding my breath. I know people say walking on eggshells, but I remember just like feeling like I could just never have a full breath.
Crippling anxiety is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. I mean, he was a man who, like, I remember my first horrible anxiety attack, and he was laughing at me, telling me that I'm faking it. And I hate that because my kid was around. I remember my daughter being there and being like, "Are you okay, Mom?" And I couldn't control myself, and Dad's laughing. It was just, I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about because you kind of forget and move on. And I don't know. It's awful. But you need to know you can get out, and it's not okay, and you can make it out. And I made it out. There was multiple times where, yes, it was abusive. And I remember the last time I left, and I did something that I know a lot of people are like, that's probably not the best way to leave, but like it was the safest way for me to leave. I freaking finally just wrote a note, and I said, I'm doing this. I wrote a freaking note, and I set it on the table.
Dear John letter.
I packed up everything in the car I could. I had already talked to the kids about this, honestly, beforehand. And we left, and I went to my family's, and I said, I've had enough, and can I move in? And I moved in, and that was it. I never ever went back. And the reason I was talking about holding my breath is because the moment that I did that, that was the time I left, and I knew I left because it was just different. It was a different feeling. Like all of a sudden I could take a breath, and all this weight fell off my shoulders. Like that same day, it was such a weird, amazing feeling. And
It's almost like you could feel the buildup this time. You had that courage kick in. They say liquid courage. This was your leaving courage, we'll
yeah,
call it.
Yeah.
And you got those tingles through your body, and
yes,
you were just raring and ready to go. And
freaking breathe.
You could
And I could
actually breathe
smile, and I
finally.
could be
Yeah.
happy. And it was
That's
just
when you
like
know
a
it was
weird,
different because you could breathe.
yes, that was my big, like, okay, we're doing this. I'm gone. Let's go.
can I ask you something?
Yes.
What did it feel like the first time you could take that breath, the first time you could breathe? Do you remember what it felt like in that moment?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
explain it by chance?
Well, I'm trying to right now,
Okay.
basically. Yes. I mean, yes, that's how I felt. Like I could just happy, so happy, like freeing, like again, like I could smile, like genuinely smile,
Yeah.
not just the fake little, we're a
No
happy
forced
family.
smile. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a really, really, really freaking good feeling. I'm not going to lie. And yes, there's still a long road ahead of me with, all the things. But honestly, I'm definitely the girl that was like, we're gone. I don't care about stuff. I don't care about the house. I don't care about that. Shit does not matter to me one bit. I only care about my peace, my kids' peace. They were dealing with anxiety because of that relationship. And I just knew, I was like, no, we can't do this anymore. It's hurting them too. And I never saw it for the longest time until I saw it. And that was definitely my like, no, we have to freaking go. But I hope that if anybody is out there listening, you leave before you feel like your kids are at that point. And they will be affected no matter what. But like, I left because of my oldest specifically. And I don't want to talk about him too much. It's his own story if he ever wanted to share one day. But like, his anxiety was high.
Yeah.
It was very high. If dad was in the house, he would want me to be in the bedroom with him most of the time. Like, it wasn't normal. It wasn't okay. And I just
People
remember,
don't realize the way that those things affect children. A lot of times, even though the kids aren't saying anything, even though the kids might not have actions of anything,
yeah,
deep down, they watch, they listen, they learn. They're learning from those experiences. They're going to pick up on those experiences, and they're liable to act on those experiences later in life if they're not corrected. But they see it, they hear it, they feel it way more than you can imagine. And
yes, even if you feel like you're being discreet, even if you feel like you're
Mhm.
not being loud around the kids, they
Yeah,
know what's going on. They know the
absolutely.
walking on eggshells thing.
And
They
a
feel
lot
that.
of women end up making that mistake of saying that I'm going to stay in this relationship for my kids. I want my kids to have mom and dad. I'm going to just suffer because I want my kids happy. But you're, like you said, even if your kids aren't telling you, they're affected. They see, they
Yes,
hear. I mean, they're going through,
yes,
like you said, their own anxieties now, their own stress, and they're going to have their own traumas. And, it's always do what's best for yourself and your kids. And that is to leave
It's
yes,
because then
kind of
it
like
will get
that
better.
airplane thing. Like the whole put your own mask on first. Like you got to take
yeah.
care of yourself first. That way you can be there to take care of the kids.
Great
Yes.
reference. I love that. That's
Yes.
so true. So true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I was that person that wanted to stay till they were 18. I'm not gonna lie. I was that
Yeah.
person for the longest time. That's what I wanted to do. It's like, okay, 18, we can go. But thank God that was not the decision I ended up making. And I did end up leaving. Um, but yeah, so I left and started healing. Um, Started working through my trauma, anxiety, tried therapy, tried different things, and just started going through all of that. And I'm glad I did. And I had my family for that. And um healing, of course, isn't like a whole linear, it doesn't just go straight up. But
Exactly.
for me, it was like the very first time, as far as like healing goes, it was the very first time I started listening to me and myself again. um and that was like an amazing feeling in itself. And so after all of that, I I had been working, of course. I had been doing some things online, and I had been working, and I came across TikTok again. So I want to come back to where this is kind of where my purpose started. And having a purpose was a huge part of my healing journey as well. And I didn't realize how much of a part of it would end up being. Um, I remember looking at TikTok and hadn't been on it in I think a whole year. I hadn't been on it. I had been on TikTok, whatever, dabbled, made some content, whatever, but I hadn't been on it in a long time. And I remember popping on and seeing these lives. And this one girl, Josie, actually, I do have to go back to her because I was in her live room. Mike knows who Josie is. But I was in her live room and I was like, oh, they're doing these community lives and stuff. And I remember like just bringing people together, helping people reach the 1K, 10K, whatever. And I remember years and years ago, my friend Sarati on here had done that forever, like on TikTok. And I was like, oh, they do these still? And I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. And I was sitting there and make a bunch of friends. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. So I clicked the button, and the reason I decided to try it, because I was in my healing phase and I was trying to, heal all the things, but I was sad. I was lonely. I still had crazy anxiety. I never freaking slept ever. Like I still struggle with some of the sleeping stuff, but at that time, yeah. So I can't talk too much on sleeping, but at the time I started, I was like, I'm up all night long. I'm busy with my kids all day. Let's go live at night and just see what happens. I was about to start a new full-time job like 2 weeks later. And so I was like, you know what? Let's try TikTok for these 2 weeks and just see what happens. And went on all night long, did the community lives, and obviously nobody showed up at first, but I just kept like pressing it and being on for hours all night long and just saying like, come on in, we're gonna see what happens, guys. I'm gonna be here for 2 weeks. If you want me to stick around, well then come back to my room every night. Otherwise, I'm gonna be gone and I'll be working. So that's what I would do. I'd literally just do that. And finally some people started sticking around and coming every night. And what I saw happen was amazing, and people started sticking around, and that was awesome. And Mike eventually came around to my room. And this is when I had hopped into his room, And he had shared his story with me. And that inspired something in me. And this is another reason I think it's important to share your story, because it is a ripple effect
Yes, it is.
in so many ways.
It
But
is.
I remember you, Mike, sharing your story with me, honestly, on the phone. I think you shared it with me before I ever heard it on TikTok. And then I watched your story on a Sunday. And I was like, wow, like that's really brave to do, first of all. I was like, I would never fucking do that. But
And look at you
I'm pretty sure
now.
you thought I was crazy at first, honestly, but
no,
You
I
know,
actually
I
thought you were
felt the
super
same way.
brave, but I was like, I could never do that.
Yeah, I
And
felt the same way. I felt the same exact way. I was like, all right, I'm about to tell my story on Cowboy Hat Brandon's live.
yeah,
And there was something that I revealed on live that I haven't touched in 40 years. Like
isn't
I
that wild?
never told anybody.
When you
And
feel it,
then
you feel
I
it,
just,
and you need to release it. That's
yeah, it came out and I was like,
yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
finally got that off my chest.
And that was probably an amazing feeling, wasn't it?
Release.
that's that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that breath that we were talking about there a moment
Yeah.
ago.
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely. I remember having that feeling again because of TikTok as well. And being able to share my story, the community that's on TikTok. Anthony, he who over there, he would sit in my rooms too, which is so cool. That's why I love that I get to do this podcast with
I know.
y'all.
I
Some
sit
of
in
you
your
guys I've
room
known
late at
for so
night,
long.
like 2 in the morning, and because I
Yes.
can't
Listen,
sleep.
if anybody ever needs a place to go hang out on TikTok, go find Boosh Nation. Paige, period, Boosh Nation, all night long. She'll be there, almost guaranteed. Okay, she don't sleep. She'll
Okay.
be tapping the
Respect.
drinky. She'll be having a sippy of the energy. Okay, she'll be there for you. Go hang out.
Well,
Respect.
Yeah.
since
That's what
Mike
I would
just
say
mentioned
every
Boosh
single night.
Nation, so I guess now you need to. What is Boosh Nation,
Yes,
Paige?
perfect. Perfect segue. Um but yeah, so I would go into my live rooms, and they started flooding with some people, and I remember just being like, okay, well, we got to stand out and be different on TikTok, so we can't be like every other room. And everyone would call something like, when everybody floods the comments, they would call it a speed round. Well, I was like, well, let's switch it up, and I would call it the bestie boost sesh, so I'd call those a boost sesh instead. Well, if you know me, I definitely stumble over my words a lot. So you can be a
Words are
live host,
hard.
guys. You can stumble over your words. It's okay. I stumble over my words a lot. Thanks, Mike. Um, but and okay, so I kept trying to say bestie boost sesh, and I would have my chat try to say it 5 times fast. I would try to say it 5 times fast. And one day out came the word boosh. I just said it, and somebody put it in my chat, and I was like, oh, I said that. Okay, well, let's call these speed rounds boosh. And so we started to call the speed rounds boosh. And then I started just randomly telling people, I was like, well, I like this word. Let's like have fun plan words. And every time you come to my room, instead of a best, you're not just a bestie. Everyone call each other besties. You're now a boosh babe or boosh bro. And then that slowly formed to just having a fun play on words with Boosh. And we'll bring Mike in again because I would do like room drops and stuff to him, and my community loved him. And we didn't want to deal with his BOOSHIT. So that word came
Uh-huh.
about. So I would do room drops, and I'd have everybody go over there and be like, we don't want to deal
Of
with your
course,
BOOSHIT.
the word
Hold
bullshit
on.
came
Let
from
me bring
Mike.
up the
I mean,
fact that
that's, you know,
I just want to
I
bring up
saw
the
that
fact
one
that I am
coming.
the one and only Boosh baddie. Okay, I am the original Boosh baddie
Mike
because of my
became a
Boosh
Boosh
shit.
baddie in my room. Yes, and I would not let anybody else be a Boosh baddie, which is so funny. We still have the sticker to this day because I can't get rid of the memories. It's been a really cool journey. I'm not gonna lie, it's just blown my mind. So we have this whole Boosh thing going on. I had heard Mike's story, and I just kept doing my thing every night. I had this girl, my life is Liz. I will never forget it. She random night, I think I had around like 200 people in the room or something, and I saw her comment, and it said, I can't remember word for word, but it had something to the effect of like, thank you so much for these rooms, Paige. Like, you have changed my life. I felt so alone every single night, and these rooms help me. This room, the Boosh, helps me so much. And I read that, and I instantly started crying. Never cried on a live stream. Never. I just started crying because the reason I had started was because I never slept. I had anxiety. I needed a place. I needed them. And then I realized that they needed me too. And it was this like full circle moment. And that was the night, the very first night I ever shared some, like a top layer of my story with domestic violence. And then I had 200 people sitting in my room starting to opening up about their stories. So many dealing with domestic violence, amongst many other things. I've had people come and tell me things that they've never told a soul in their life. Um, there's certain names that I will never forget. You know, we have Badass Jay is one of them because he's just, there's just so many people who have sat in my room and shared things with me that they never thought they would share with anyone. And I was like, what is this? Like, where am I? What? It was healing. It was healing. It was, again, another breath I could take because I was like, I can tell this to people, and people heard me. People listened. I was in a relationship for years where I was never heard, never listened. I I would have never shared my opinion with anybody because I knew I'd be shut down. I felt heard for the first time, and then all these people felt heard for the first time, and then that led to this beautiful beautiful community. So now I have my own mission. And that's doing things like this. I don't know where this will go, but it's been an amazing journey. I've been able to make TikTok full time, and I've been able to build a beautiful community of people who can come and hang out, and after a really long, hard, awful day, maybe have some laughs.
Yeah.
Or maybe we have a different vibe that night and we all want to share our stories and talk freely, and we will do that. Whatever you end up doing in there, it's going to be a good time, and whoever's meant to be there is meant to be there. And my mission is for those out there who are in the middle of their story, I need you to know that you are not alone and you can get through it. You are strong and you are freaking worthy. From somebody who spent years and years and years thinking I was worthless, I need you to know you're worthy. And that's my room. I remember thinking it was insanely important. To this day, I feel this way. Like, I want you to be seen. I want you to feel seen when you come in my room. It's why I say every single person's name. And I hate when I miss somebody because I want you to know you freaking matter, because you do. You absolutely freaking matter. And so when you come into my live room and whatever else I end up doing, I just need you to know you're not alone. You are seen. You are amazing. Your opinion matters, and you matter, and you can do anything you want in your life. You really, really can.
Do
So
you know, I was coming to your rooms already, but do you remember the moment when you came up with Boosh Nation, a place where you belong?
I don't know if I
The,
remember like the
I
exact.
remember the moment
You
that you
do?
came up with that. I remember it, and I remember when you said it, the way that I felt, and the way that the chat just took off, and everyone just unanimously decided this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. This is where I should be. And I felt that exact same way. That saying that you came up with touched my heart. And I wanted to throw it out there, and I wanted to bring it up to everyone watching. That Boosh Nation is a place where you belong, each and every one of you. So check it out.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I love that you remember that too.
And I
Yeah.
I
mean,
remember.
I latched on to you right away. Like, you have charisma, and you're so kind and genuine. I mean, you can hear that just in your voice and the way that you speak. I can tell it's truth, and it that you care. And
Thank you.
plus, you have great humor. I mean, you're funny, but I mean, I can feel you when you talk. Like, I really can. I can feel the genuineness in you and the kindness, and you have
Thank you.
loyalty and so many amazing things. And it doesn't. Only thing I don't like is that you battle Mike at night, and I have to recharge 100 times just so we can beat him because I just, Mike.
Let me throw this out there. You know, and this is no like bragging thing, but we have always had a team that does extremely well. Okay, we always had a group of people that WinFam has done extremely well. But there's one thing for sure and two things for certain when it comes to Boosh Nation. They are not letting us win. I don't know what they have against us, but they are not doing it.
Because we love you. That's why. It's because we love you.
Sorry,
Oh,
bro. I'm just gonna say it. I've thrown for Paige when she battled you.
I know you have. I get it. She's prettier than I am, guys. She's funnier than I am. I
I
get
throw
all
for
the
Paige every
things.
time she battles you, and if I'm in there.
This turns sideways real quick, y'all. This is, you know what?
He didn't even know I was
For
over there yesterday, and I think I threw like dinosaur or galaxy, something that was, and your points went up because I hit it on times three. And you said my name. He didn't even know I was in there. And he's like, what? Who's
Yep,
over
I said
there?
he's like,
Yeah.
But you know
Oh,
what?
I will do the other side on anybody who battles Mac.
Do you want to know one of the reasons I love battling Paige though?
What?
Is because no matter win or lose, it is always a fun time.
Yeah.
We are always just having a blast, and there's no pressure.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
Paige is one of those people that she's willing to co-host almost anybody, honestly. And as long as you don't make her feel uncomfortable, she will sit there and she will hang out with you for as long as she's able to, and her chat will, as long as her chat will stick around. Um, and her community, almost everyone that they connect with, her and her community, there's like an instant bond that is grown the moment that you connect with Paige as a co-host. And I'm telling you what, it's almost like you just don't want to leave. Like y'all are having so much fun all the time. So
I do have like an amazing community that goes. We brought together people that goes and loves on everybody else too. Like they
yep.
will be jumping to Mike's side or whoever I'm
Mike's does
with
that.
as
Yeah.
well.
I love when Mike
What
does that
is
too.
to be
He can do
silly,
sweet things.
but yeah, yes. But they will
Sometimes.
jump around because I don't know. I don't know. But I think you said something that was really sweet, just saying that I was kind and genuine and all those things. That means a lot because the reason I'm so kind to people is because I just know what it's like to not have that by anybody in your life.
Yeah.
And I just never want somebody to feel like they don't matter. I hate that. Nobody deserves that. So,
Yeah.
and I know so many people deal with that, at least from somebody in their life, no matter what. So, thank you for saying that as well. I appreciate
Paige,
you saying
And I
that.
mean it. I
I,
wouldn't say it if I didn't feel it. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Paige is one of the there's a few people, but there's very few people. But Paige is one of those people who, if I go missing for a day because of my mental health, or she knew I was going through a hard time, she's the first one to pick up that phone and send a message. She's the first one to pick up that phone if I don't answer that message and call me. If I don't answer that phone call, there's a FaceTime coming. And then, a barrage of 1,000 messages. But no, in all seriousness, she cares about people so deeply. And not just me. Like I've seen this woman in the background while we're on the phone or whatever, worrying about somebody else because of how much she cares about others. Because how she knows, like she just said, about being alone, about, not having people in your corner. Paige is that person that's always in your corner. Even if she's not able to be there in that moment, I promise you, she's there. She's cheering you on. She's clapping. She's clocking it. She's doing all the things in the background for you, okay? Now clock that.
clock that. Clock that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to
TikTok's
say
crazy.
this and I will never repeat this again. But Mike, you're the same way. You are just as true and just as genuine, just as loving. You care about people. You want to see people laugh, but you'll hold someone's hand, you'll make them laugh, you'll do whatever you need to do to cheer them up, to give them a smile on their face. And I hope you see that in yourself because
I do.
seeing
But
that,
and,
and
and
I saw that in you right away. I mean, and the three of you guys. That's why we're here. That's why I
yeah,
adopted y'all's ass and we created a podcast. Damn it.
I gotta say, I saw that in Mike whenever I saw that video of him trying to run.
what do you mean trying to run?
I'm out of breath. I'm gonna have a heart
Both of us.
attack.
Listen,
Wait,
I might be a little animated, but here, if y'all want a really funny video, y'all need to go back about a year and find the one where I was chasing the balloon. Check my profile, find the one where I'm chasing the balloon,
Okay.
and tell me that's not hilarious.
Got to. We will do that. But yeah, so I saw something in the three of you guys right away. I mean, I've interviewed over 30 people. I mean, when this didn't even, I never expected to have a second podcast. I mean, why? I mean, I never thought about that. After I got off with Mike and Anthony, literally ran to my husband. And I told you, I texted y'all the instant we got off almost. And I was like, we'll talk about it more later, but I've got some shit going through my brain right now. And I just was like, because Mike's the comedic relief. He's got the humor he can bring, but he's also personable. He's just such a great guy. And then Anthony, he brings like a lot of heart and all on the faith side of it, and just that compassion. Then I was like, you know what? I want a full table. I need another girl. It's got to have another girl. So then I instantly went to Jewel. We connected so well on our interview with each other. Like, we were both sitting there flipping color. I'm sitting here flipping my pen right now. We were both sitting there flipping colored pens. And she doesn't even realize I'm doing it. And she's talking about, fidgeting and flipping her color pen and stuff. And all of a sudden, I was like, this in the camera. And she wasn't looking at me because she's looking down, because she does that a lot. So I'm just like, hey, hey. And she looks up finally and she's like, you have colored pens too. It's like, yes. So I saw a lot in the differences that we have. We still come together and each bring such a big part to this. And I really feel like we're gonna do great things together. And I'm so glad Paige was our first guest,
Thank
because
you.
you're doing great things. And I can see that your true, genuine smile right now. Like, you can see you're happy. And it's also kind of cool. The background's purple, and it's domestic violence, awareness. So you got the purple going on back there. But
Yes.
yeah, you're an amazing woman.
Thank you. You definitely need to
But
clip
Mike, I won't
everything
say
you just
anything
said
else
about.
about you good again. So, and
Oh,
if you
she
say I
doesn't
said it,
will.
I'll lie.
So
I'm
when
gonna
the
feed your
podcast
feathers and
comes
stuff.
out, I'm gonna. Have y'all ever heard of a clapback? When this thing comes out, I'm gonna make sure I make a clapback against all the good things I've said about anything in this podcast. That was AI. First off, guys, this whole podcast was AI. I was never even here.
Right. You don't even know us. Like, I just
Yeah, I
pretended
don't even
like
know
you
who
were my
y'all are.
friend,
How did I get here?
That's great.
I can do some AI stuff, so.
Oh,
Do you
I
know how
know. I
often
found out a
I
little
get
bit
asked if
ago.
I'm
I
AI?
found out a little bit ago.
Right? That video, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I haven't seen this
I
That
yet.
was
have
fun making
people
that video.
texting me right now about that video saying, Mike, how do you move your hips like that? Mike, are you okay? Mike, when did that happen? I'm like, yo, I literally have about 30 text messages right now. I hate it from different people. I have to go back all because of this daggum video of me dancing at TikTok headquarters.
What? I have to watch it.
You
It's
missed it?
epic. It's epic.
Oh, you
And
better go
and
watch
have
it when
you
you get off.
have you
I'll
posted
text
that?
it to you.
I have posted it. I did post it. Yep, it's on my page right now.
Nice. Nice. I'm surprised
Yep.
it hasn't gone viral because, dude, you had some sick moves in there.
I did have
Yeah.
some sick moves. Like, don't get me wrong. This white boy can dance. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's AI.
that wasn't AI. The dance wasn't AI. This is AI. Paige, my
Oh,
lord.
oh, I'm
God,
confused. I get
get
confused
on the
easily.
ball,
Keep going.
Paige. Don't you know? You're not even here. You look too
I just seen
perfect. I
the
mean, how can that
video.
be a real
Oh,
person right there?
you just
You're
now
too
saw the
beautiful.
video. Oh
You have to
lord.
be AI.
I get asked if I'm AI all the time.
Oh
Oh my
my
Oh,
God.
goodness.
There we go. Yes.
oh, popping the hip.
I'm over every single one of you right now.
You love it. We know
I don't know why I don't even know why I touched that button to come in here. Y'all are just, you know.
We're
Mike's like,
gonna
why did I
repost
ever agree to be
that.
her
We're
friend?
gonna save it. We're gonna push that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Put the
yeah.
story,
Duet it.
all the
What you
things.
should do is you should duet it.
Yeah, there you
I
Oh,
go.
want to see the duets. Who
All
can
right.
Okay.
dance me down? Who can dance
Okay.
like me? Come on now.
he who needs to do edit. That would
Oh,
be
that'd be
funny.
good.
That
That
would
would
be
be
good.
cute.
That would be good.
I don't got the moves. Now Marin's gonna
We're
have to
trying to
come
push
out
our
with the
podcast
AI
out,
for
y'all.
that
We
one.
need we have to be seen. We have to,
Yeah.
we have to pull
Gotta,
them
gotta do
in. If it takes Mike dancing and Anthony over there dancing with him in a duet, I mean, come on, you
I'll
guys.
tell you what.
Cheap
I'm
One thing
down
for
advertising.
for it.
sure and two things for certain. If you want to get seen, just do some silly stuff. Seven
Yeah.
second videos doing goofy stuff. Y'all, if you check out my videos, I'm always doing just something. I'll say something off the wall or I'll do something off the wall, whatever it is, because that video is what pushes. And
Right?
I just want to throw it out there to anyone watching. If you're trying to be on social media and you're trying to figure out how to get seen, You know, there are these live rooms you can go into and do things, but if you do those 7-second videos and you just do something off the wall outside of your comfort zone, it doesn't have to be fully outside of your comfort zone, but get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Or if
And be
someone makes
yourself.
something
Laugh at
funny,
yourself and allow
Because
people
laugh
to
at
laugh at
that's
yourself.
you.
so Mike. Like that is so you. So it makes sense. And if I do a 7-second video and I felt so weird being like talking to the screen and just like being inspiring, motivating, I felt ridiculous. I'm like, oh, these seem so dumb. No, they took off. They did amazing. So be
Not
yourself.
only did that
Be
take
yourself,
off,
I'll
but
say.
so did her pie video. You're
Oh, I
welcome.
missed the
Moving
pie
on.
video. I'll have to watch
Moving
that.
on. People come in my
I'm
chat for
writing it
that
down.
last
Pie
night.
video
Pie video,
and
Oh,
balloons.
not the
I
balloons.
pie
always
video.
tell people that the 7-second videos are great for reach and like new people, and then the longer videos are better for like building your community
Exactly.
and growing your community.
Yep, the 7 seconds push you out so everyone gets to see your face. Do at
Yeah.
least 1 or 2 7 seconds a day. If you're only posting one video a day, you're already messing up. You have to do multiple videos a day. You want 1 to 2 7-second videos that just float around. And remember, once you post that video, think about your hashtags, think about your search engine optimization, think about those
Mm-hmm.
words that you want to put in there to push it in the right direction. Then you want to do 1 minute and 1 second videos. 1 minute and 1 second because TikTok cuts off a second. But those
Yeah.
at least those minute long videos, use those videos to tell people about yourself. Use
Yeah.
those videos to broaden what you're looking for on the app or the community you're trying to build, or that is your information videos basically.
Right.
And Paige, even if you don't like feel comfortable like talking like in a 7-second video, because like I don't talk fast. So like that's like really quick, you know. I do like B-roll, and then I put like something on the screen that takes like longer to read, and then that repeats it and loops it and gets the watch time up.
Yeah.
Me and Anthony were just
Those
talking
words on the
about your
screen.
video editing
What's that?
stuff
Yeah.
yesterday. How you like pause, like you say a thought, you pause it, then you start recording again, say, finish what you're saying, and you pause it. And then when you edit it all together, it really, it comes out really good. We were just talking
Yeah.
about that last night.
On my backup account, I like share like basic TikTok tips, and I forgot where I was going with that. What were we talking about?
Okay, ADD, ADHD girl.
And I
we were
thought my ADD,
we're talking about you
ADHD, all the
editing
D's is,
pictures and making videos and
Oh yeah, the editing thing. So like they always say like you don't want to read off of a script. So like I don't read scripts, but like I have an outline, because if I don't, like just like what happened here, my brain like goes all wonky. But then I have to like, so I do the record thing, pause it because I can't remember what I want to say next, and then I have to look, and then I'm constantly going back and forth.
but it
You want to know
works
something
out
I
because
found?
it
I'm
gets your
very
thoughts
ADD.
and
It
then your
takes
thought
out
and
those
then your
like
thought.
big gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember what I want to say to save my life. So I'll write it
Yeah.
down and then I try to read it. And then I'll have to try to do the video without reading it. I've messed up more times than I can count, but some of those bloopers, guys, are
Mhm.
They're
worth posting
good.
in
That's why I
itself.
don't cut out
Okay?
bloopers from the
Mhm.
podcast either, unless
So
unless it was just something horrible I needed to cut out. But if it's like a funny blooper, because I've dropped my phone, I've like spilled a drink. I mean,
See, that
it makes it real.
video
It makes
of
it
Mike
funny.
dancing would be a great blooper.
Yeah, I think Mike should stand up right now and
hold
try to
Idea!
on.
do that
Whoa, whoa,
dance
whoa,
himself.
whoa, whoa.
That
Hold
would be a
on.
great
I mean, if you're
advertisement.
listening
Hold
on
the
Spotify right
phone.
now, you're not going to be able to see it, but go to the YouTube channel. This will be uploaded by the time you're hearing this, and hopefully Mike is going to be dancing. Maybe,
I'm gonna
maybe.
make the best advertisement.
Hold
Oh my
on.
god.
I said you're
Hold
the
on.
comedic relief of this show.
I need to understand one thing and one thing right now. What do you mean my dancing was a blooper? That was on point, okay? I hit them spots.
Come
If you
on,
say so.
just shake it a
Whatever
little
helps
bit.
you sleep at night.
Well, we will
This is probably
circle
why I
back
don't
to it
sleep at
next
night.
time then, okay? This is gonna happen. If it's not tonight, next time. You be prepared. We're gonna give you one more time so that you can prepare, coordinate a little dance, do some choreography, So the next time you'll be ready.
I agree.
You know what? Hang on a second. Back up. I feel like we need Anthony dancing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matter
I
of
think
fact,
the
hold up.
guys
No,
should
no, no, no,
I'm
dance.
no. Back it
telling
up.
you.
Back it up. Back it up a little further. Back it up a little further. I feel like all of us should have a role in this dance. Matter of
Yes.
fact.
Okay.
I'm
Who
down.
Okay?
some
I'm down.
who has a second device? Bob, put some music on. So I don't.
You
I
want it
mean, I
now?
have a second phone.
Put some music on.
Okay.
What are
Yes,
we doing?
ma'am.
This is May
Loading,
is
loading,
Mental Health
This,
loading.
Awareness
this,
Month, and like we said, my comment to Mike, dancing is a great form of therapy. It gets you in a
do
better
you
Very.
know?
mood.
Do you remember
Lightens
what
it
my
up. It
response
takes
was?
away your anxiety.
Do you remember my response? I'll show you what my response was, guys. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
My response was, "How can you be moody when you're shaking that booty?"
Sounds about right.
Okay, put the song on.
Does somebody have a corgi? That was crazy. Who threw the corgi?
Corky
Yeah.
booty, corky booty.
Oh, that's the cutest corgi
Did you just tell me I had the cutest corgi butt? I appreciate you,
You
Yeah.
Jewel.
did.
butt. Anytime.
We'll give you
You
compliments
know
on your
when
booty anytime you need it.
I appreciate it. Listen, sometimes, listen, I know I got a dump truck back there, but even I get insecure.
Okay, put that song on, Jewel. Put the song
What
you're
are we doing?
dumping the truck. Mm. I don't know the name of it. Words, I don't know. Now I'm trying to sing it and I can't even think of it.
You guys, I
that's
had
okay.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stuck in my head my entire drive home, 45 minutes. And then the entire time, like an hour before we got on here, I was like, what the hell?
That is so
I'm not
random.
dancing to
Is
I
Rudolph the
know.
Red-Nosed
is
Reindeer.
that
We
where I
were waiting
remember
on your
seeing
I
Rudolph?
didn't even
ADHD
hear the
self to
song
get some
playing.
music on.
Did you send that in a message somewhere today? Because
I
somewhere,
did.
Yes.
like subliminally, I remember seeing a message somewhere. I never answered it because I don't know where it was. But subliminally, I saw, guys. I may not answer every message, but I see them somewhere somehow. They're usually popping up while I'm busy. And I saw Rudolph the Red-Nosed. I said, "What the heck kind of conversation is going on in here?"
Well, hey, my chat GPT wrote a rap about our group chat. That was pretty cute.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty,
I'll,
yeah,
I'll,
it's
I'll
pretty
read that to
funny.
y'all next time. It's funny.
So you know that feeling that Paige was saying that she has about when when you're free, when you're finally free of a relationship.
Hmm.
I was sitting here thinking about it the whole time, and I was like, it's that feeling of like when you're driving down the road and and the sunset is ahead of you,
Hmm.
and you got the
Yeah.
windows rolled down, and it's like a crisp 80 degrees outside, and the wind is just blowing, and you can just take that breath of fresh air. That's what
And
it
then you
feels
start
like.
singing, I'm free, free
So
Free
falling.
falling.
to touch on what you just said, I know Paige probably sees it. I know Brandon probably sees it. But for those that have known me for a year or better, who have seen my ups and my downs, who have seen my, all the things, me as a person, my mental health, I was saying that when I made this move last night, it was like a breath of fresh air that
Mhm.
I've been looking for my entire life. For those that do know my story, you understand where I moved from is it was my stomping grounds. That was the grounds where the trauma happened to me as a child that I'll never heal from, but I'll be healing for the rest of my life, you know?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day I will be healed. Maybe. But you know what? I knew that at some point in my life, the only option for me was to get away. That breath that I felt when I went to that beach today and put my toes in the sand, the breath I felt when Brandon was outside that airport to pick me up, the breath I felt when he gave me that first hug, and I haven't seen him in so long, the tears that I shed, sometimes secretly, that breath, sometimes you wait an entire lifetime to feel that breath. And I'm still, right now, even in this moment, breathing that breath because I have waited for this my entire life. If y'all have ever been through something and you've had that breath moment, please let us know about it. Please let us know about it. Drop a comment
Drop
somewhere.
a comment.
Tell us about your experience. Let us know when and where. Is it recent? Drop something in the comments, guys, because this is on every platform, okay? Drop something. Interact with that. Let us know so we can come back and chat with you about it.
And I'm so freaking proud of you, Mike. And so, you know, I'm proud of you, but I'm so freaking proud of you for taking the leap because I know how hard it is. And I know a lot of us know how hard it is to take that leap. That's a huge move.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of you and excited for you. As you know, I've been telling
Appreciate you.
you.
Appreciate you.
I feel the most free when I'm doing my podcasts because it's something that I can be proud of that I built. That I get to hear so many wonderful stories that it's healing for me. You know, I heal every single time I hear a story. I mean, but I feel free.
That's
I feel
my
like I can just be
TikTok for me.
myself. I can do whatever I want to do. It's mine, damn it. You know, I mean, this is, you
Yes.
know, and now this is ours. This is ours.
Mhm.
And it is free.
I don't know if any of you have ever heard Marissa say this. So there's a couple different live hosts on TikTok, right? Marissa will tell you all the time. He believed in me before I believed in myself. He would tell his friends, "Hey, she's going to be big." And it happened. I don't know what it is about the eye that I have for certain things, people, places, things, but just knowing that they have the ability and seeing what they have as long as they're properly um what's the word I'm looking for here? Inspired.
Yeah,
I see in every single one of you, Anthony, Jewel, Marin, Paige. I see it in every single one of you. This podcast is going to be huge. Everything you guys are doing is going to be huge. The heart that you have, the mindsets that you have, it's not easy to come by having that heart, and it's not easy to come by having that mindset. Okay? But you all have the mindsets and the hearts of winners. You are winning today. You're going to win tomorrow. I believe in you, and I'm grateful for you.
absolutely. That's
I heard,
exactly the way I feel. That's why I chose you
yeah.
30 and said, come on, please link arms with me and
Yeah.
let's do this together. You know?
So I heard,
And
I,
Paige,
I
you
heard a
are
certain
so
person a long
welcome
time
to
ago.
sit at this truth table anytime that you want
Yeah.
to. You are an honorary member of this truth table family. Not just because you're the first one, but we love you
Mhm.
very much. And you are welcome to sit here and bullshit with us. We don't even have to talk mental health at all. You want to just come on one day and just shoot some shit, we will have you down.
Oh, you know I
So
will. And I feel
yeah, I
very
know you
honored to be the
will.
first.
Well, before
Um,
we wrap it up, I want to hear from everyone. We'll start with
I
Paige.
think he who's trying to say
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I'm covering his face, so I can't see if he's trying. He could be going like this, and I wouldn't know.
No, I think I heard somebody a long time ago say, what do you call it? Another live host say, if you want to reach people on TikTok, you can't be fake. You have to be real. You have to be 100%, and you just got to lay it on the table. You got to put your real self out there because people can spot a fake person from a mile away,
Yep.
but they want somebody that's real.
Yeah.
So
So, you not only what you just said there, but I'll capitalize on that a little bit. And Jeremy Bryan gave me props for this the other day, and I didn't even like ever think of it. But he said the genuine shows through, and even though you might be able to fake it for a little while, that fakeness will come through. I tell people all the time, guys, when you're on the screen, when you're on that camera, people can feel you through the screen. As weird as that sounds, they can feel your emotions. They can feel where your head is at. They can feel when you're frustrated, angry, sad, happy. They can tell if you're just trying to manipulate. I'm telling you all right now, you might get away with it for a little while, but if you're not your authentic and genuine self, you're only going to last so long before it crashes hard and you just crash out.
For those of you just scared to show up as your authentic self, because I understand that, because I was scared to show up as myself, know that your people will find you and
They
you will
will.
be accepted.
They
They'll
will.
find
Exactly.
you even in a little bubble on the
Yeah,
screen.
that's how I didn't even share that part of my story. I was scared to
Yeah, the
start
little
TikTok.
bubble.
I was in a little bubble. I didn't want to show my
Paige would
face.
just be hearing this little thing, and all of a
I was
sudden
like,
she'd go
this is
whip.
a
She
bubble.
she would like
Look at
slide
that.
across the screen, point here, and then go all the way back up here. I'm
That's my
like,
little
And
face. There's a
as
filter on
someone who
there.
did this full time, I was like, how is she doing that?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to do that.
Because I was scared to show up as myself. I wasn't used to people liking who I was or knowing who I was. So I
I know.
showed
I
up in a little
understand
bubble.
that. I think with me, I was saying it yesterday, like when I had to do the stupid battle thing for Karina's birthday. I don't like to go live. And everyone's like, how can you care about going live when you're involved in 3 podcasts? How, what's the difference? Because I tell y'all, like Paige was like, do you have any advice or what can you tell me about it? I'm like, just pretend you're on live, be
Hmm.
yourself, we're just talking. But don't like being watched because I feel like I'm being judged. And because I have low self esteem within myself still, I assume everyone is judging me because I'm judging myself. So here, like I said, this was my babies, there's no one that they're listening and watching, but we don't see them or know that. But on a live, when they're just random people can just come in. No one can come in here unless they have a link and they're invited. I just
Yeah.
don't like that feeling of what if I'm going to get trolled or what if no one comes in? I can sit here and talk to myself on a podcast. You don't have to have a guest and have a great podcast, but I can't do it live without feeling uncomfortable.
See, I
It's
didn't
weird.
always
I feel
go
Yet,
live.
watched and judged.
yet,
That's what I was going to say.
yet,
Yeah, yet.
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't
yet.
always go live. Someone else finally convinced me to go live. Because so I was like doing content where like I didn't want to talk. Like I was
I
scared to
I
talk.
convinced you. I convinced you to go live.
Well, you and
Batman.
yeah, Batman. And then they're like, "Oh, well, if you want to get bigger, like spread the awareness, whatever, like you should go live, like you should go live and build that community." But I'll tell you, I struggle to go live. It's still like nerve-wracking to me.
Can I? Okay, I'm hearing the two of you. Let me explain something to you. As someone who's done this for a year and like 3 months, let me ask y'all something. Let me ask you a question first. Do you think that I am able to hit that button every day freely? Do you think that I struggle hitting that button, or do you think that it's natural to me at this point? I would love to know, and then
I
I'm
would
gonna get into
assume
why
it's
I asked this.
completely natural. I can tell by the way you're
Mhm.
asking that it's not, but yeah, that would be a
Do
surprise to me. You
you know how
seem
Okay.
many
so
times I've been
confident
on the
and
phone?
so fully aware of who you are.
Mhm.
And I would say it would be easy. If you're going to say it's hard, yeah, I wouldn't have thought that.
Is it
See,
natural
like
for you,
my
Paige?
thing is like
No.
there's been like a lot of like very big and like traumatic things
Mhm.
that have gone on in my life
Mhm.
so recently, and like the most random thing will trigger it, and
Mhm.
I don't cry in front of people. So like
Mhm.
my biggest thing is like I don't want to be live in front of people and like be bawling. Like that's my thing.
I love where this is. This is. I'm about to eat this up. I'm about to eat this up. Paige, you
I
wanted to say
feel,
something. I'm gonna let you
I'll
say
say
it
one thing.
beforehand.
I will say, because Mike's question was great, but do you know how many times I've been on the phone with Mike and I need to go live? I'm like, oh, I do not want to go live right now. I'm in this mood, I'm in that mood. And then he's like, go live. And I'm like getting all set up. I'm like, okay, here we go. And I've done the same for you too, though.
Yes.
You were in a rut and you hadn't gone live in a while. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
get your stuff on. We're both going to go live right now. And,
So here's what I'm gonna say about it.
broadcast.
As long as we've done this, and you can ask if any host tells you they can hit that button every day without a problem, they're a liar. And I'm call,
Yeah.
message me, text me, whatever you want if you disagree with me, you know, but they are lying. because mental health is serious. Getting on here, we're working from home, finding the motivation to work from home. If anyone works from home, you know it's hard to get that motivation sometimes. Not only is it hard to get the motivation, it's hard to get in the right mindset. You got to entertain, you got to do this, you got to worry about
Especially
fragments.
after working a full-time day.
Yep, that too. You gotta worry about, how am I gonna get my diamonds for the day? How am I gonna get pushed out for the day? Who's gonna show up? Who's not gonna show up? Is the algorithm gonna be different today? There are all these different things, but I'll tell you what, y'all want a little trick?
What?
Find something else to do besides the live. Go live and have yourself something else to do. Do you know what I did when I first started going live? Until I built my confidence, until, don't get me wrong, like I still struggle, but there's a lot of great days. But do you know why there's great days? Because I put so much time into it in the beginning. And when I say I put much time to it, I used to go live while cooking. So I didn't have to stare at the chat the whole time. So I wasn't worried about what was happening in the live.
Yeah.
I would go live and I would be writing a paper. So I could look up every once in a while and say, "Hey guys, how y'all doing today?" And then I would engage with them. And I would slowly get the feeling of doing this and that at the same time. Well, guess what? That all flips around into the fact of, while you're talking to these people, you're looking at your fragments, you're looking at your diamonds, you're looking at the push, you're looking at the number of people. It all works together, but you distract yourself just slightly, but enough, you want to stay engaged enough to
Yeah.
where you can engage with your people, but you want that slight distraction
Mhm.
on those days when you're struggling. And then the days that you're good, you just rock that thing out.
That's the equivalent to
Absolutely.
my little bubble, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Not only
Yeah.
that, not only
And
that, not
open
only that,
screen and having something to do.
you want to surround yourself with people that are like-minded, and you want people who are clapping for you. But not only do you want people that are clapping for you, if I call Paige right now and say, "Hey, I'm struggling to go live," do you think she's going to tell me, "Okay, take the day off"?
No, I wouldn't
What is
either.
Paige going to tell me? What is Paige going to tell me?
Paige
You
is
should
going to tell
probably
you to
go
go live.
online.
She's probably going to tell you to suck your
I'll
ass
even
up.
go
You
on
know?
to battle you if it helps.
Yeah.
She
If
will
I,
literally offer to get on with me. She
Yeah.
will literally, you want those people in your
unless I
corner
know
that are
who's
going to hold you accountable.
I can co-host anytime. It's going by myself.
Yes. Well,
I
Marin, we're going to do some co-hosts now that you
there you
just said
go.
that. Remember that you said that, because now I'm pretty sure everyone's going to co-host you now.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes, please.
but
I
here's
We
the
hate to get
thing.
tried
into it again.
co-hosting the other day, but it didn't work.
The
Yeah.
biggest thing is, oh, she was using the computer. It's a little wonky
Oh yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So she might have to use the phone to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but you want those people that are not going to allow you to fail yourself. That's the big part. Because if I say I don't want to go live, I want someone in the background that's going to be like, "Dude, you got this.
Right.
You
Mhm.
what do you mean you don't want to go on?" Now, if you have a legitimate reason, like there's something really going on, by all means, I get it. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm being insensitive right now,
Right.
but there was
Yeah.
an example was, I think 2 weeks ago, my friend was like, "Hey, I don't really want to go on," and she was in someone else's room in a box, and I'm like, "Girl, remember who the f you are." That stuff that's going on right there, remember what you're building. Remember what you're working towards. In business, building a business is hard. In relationships, building a relationship is hard. That groundwork is hard. And don't get me wrong, it's not always like that, guys. Once you build to a certain point, it's not as hard anymore. It becomes routine. It starts to flow. You can take time off. Everyone says consistency, consistency, consistency. Yes. But once you reach a certain level, guess what? You got some freedoms.
Right.
Now, if you want to keep hitting it full force, you're going to grow faster, but you do have those freedoms once you get hit past that building point.
Yep.
And that is just a little that. Thank you for my TED talk.
That was good.
What
Anthony.
I've noticed, yeah, what I've noticed is when people, what do you call it, when you start building your community and the people who show up actually support you,
Yeah.
that's when you know that you can keep on doing it because you know that they're going to continue to support you. But I think one of the biggest things that you have to remember when you go live is um, you're your worst critic.
Yes.
So
That that
Yes.
you're gonna bring yourself down. I
I
mean,
do
you
know
bring
that. Yeah.
yourself down all the time.
and
And
not
so
only Good.
You just need you need a community behind you that is going to lift you up and say, hey, all these things that you're saying about yourself, all these things that you think about yourself, it's complete rubbish. Just
Yeah.
like none of it's valid. I
And
mean,
Yep.
no
yeah,
one,
you're going to
yeah.
have trolls. Yeah, you're going to have trolls. Yeah, you're going to have people that don't like you that may be staring at you or judging you. Every one of us are. Every single
That's what
one of
that
us are.
block button's for.
You have
Yeah.
the block button, and you need to remember the reason why you hit that button in the first place. The reason you hit that button in the first place is bigger than any of them. Do you know how many times I showed up on here crying? Do you know how many times I showed up on here bawling my eyes out? Man, I'm not worthy. I'm not this. I'm not that. That happened, guys. That was me. Y'all didn't see me build what I built, but that was me in the beginning. So if that's you, just know it's only a phase. It's only a part, and it gets better if you keep going. Not only that, you want to remember your why. Your why is bigger than what anyone else can bring into your room. Any of the drama, get rid of that nonsense. Don't take part in it. Get rid of it. Block, whatever you got to do. But at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. If you're nervous about getting on that camera, keep in mind, right now, you might see multiple people on the screen. But in this room right here with me, it's just me.
Same.
It's just me. So ain't no one can say nothing to me besides me.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's a
We
good
can be our
point.
own worst enemy or our own best friend. And usually the things that you're telling yourself in your head that you believe everyone else is thinking,
They're not.
9 times out of 10, they're not.
They're
No.
not.
They're there because they want to be there. They want to support you. They want to encourage you, engage with you. No one's sitting there thinking, oh my God, that damn girl didn't put on no makeup today. She looks like dog shit. Like, what is she thinking? My God, like those are the things in our head that we need to work on with ourselves.
And
That's
I
not what
think
everyone else is saying. That's just what you're lying to yourself about.
I
Mm.
think I think we touched on this earlier, but here's the other end of not just remembering your why. In case y'all don't know, if you do go live or you make content or you do something for where other people see it, hear it, etc., those people are counting on you to
True.
be there.
Mm.
Now,
I notice when they're
with
not.
that being said, whether you know it or not, you also count on them to be there. So y'all need each other just as much as the other one needs the other one.
I was actually saying that in my room last night because I was really good about being consistent, and then a good like 6 or 7 days go by and I didn't go live. And I have this one follower who, like, oh my gosh, if I don't go live like one time, like the very minute, like he's like in my DMs, like, are you going live today? Are you going live today? And
Yeah, I know.
I said that exact same thing.
This was a
I
big part of my story too, if you remember. I
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
said that. It's like that's where I found my purpose, was realizing I needed them just as much as they needed me.
Yeah. I was like, I realized I just need to suck it up because I decided to build this. I said I was going to build it. It's going to happen. And I said I was going to be here for you. And I need to start doing that better.
I do
Absolutely.
want to
I love
touch
it.
on a back end of what we just said though.
Quit touching people's back ends, Mike.
Listen, you
Damn.
know what?
Point.
You can't be moody when you're touching that booty, okay? And no one else can be moody when I'm touching their booty. Okay, okay, thank you.
Oh,
First, he
geez.
Um,
was talking about cheeks touching. Now he's talking about booty touching.
Anthony, if you would like, I'll come over and touch your booty too. Anthony, I got you, buddy. Don't worry. I don't want to leave you out. Um,
Thank you.
that's right. Um, but hear me out.
What?
Did y'all just hear what he said in the
Brandon.
background?
No.
Something squeeze.
Okay,
One.
so hear me out.
No, I need to know what it said.
He said I'm still grumpy that you only gave me one squeeze. That's Brandon back
Oh,
there.
okay.
Oh.
All I heard was squeeze.
Um, so here's the thing. Even though you need them and they need you, what I need every one of you to never do is never let someone think that they control you or act like they control you or act like they can force you to do something, because there's people in here who are gifters or supporters or friends or hosts who don't have your best interest at heart, that just want you there for their reason, or that want to, use something as an in. And y'all need to be weary of those. I'm going to tell you what, if someone thinks that they can control you because they sent you a universe, or I've had people think they can control me for throwing me a rose. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the rose. I appreciate every tap, every share, every comment. You never, no one owes anyone anything. First off, no one owes anyone anything. So never let yourself feel like you're being used, or that someone is running your life, your life, or whatever you've got going on, your content, whatever it may be. And this goes for social media and in life.
Yeah.
Yep,
Those
absolutely.
people that do that, bye. Bye.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Friend, family, it doesn't matter. Blood, it don't matter. You should never let anyone make you feel like you're less than. And if they are
It
Absolutely.
took
making you
me a
feel like
long
you're
time
less
to
than,
learn that.
then they don't deserve to be in your life.
It happens
Yep.
a lot on the app. It's something I still have to remind myself of, like
Yeah.
all the
And
time. I'll let
I've been
people in
seeing it
on.
a lot lately. And luckily, I can say I mean, it's never actually personally happened to me yet. The people that I support and that I engage with, I know either most of them outside the app, or at least we have talked on the phone, or we hang out, or I believe in them. But I see it so much. Oh my gosh, there's so many other people that go through that every day, that they're being controlled, or that, oh, you can't go in so and
Yeah,
so's room and throw for them because aren't you throwing for me and they're not my friend? Well, guess what?
I
It
had a
doesn't
friend.
matter. If
There's,
I want to be in there and support this person because I feel something, whether they're teaching me something, or whether they're making me laugh and they're entertaining me, or they're touching me in some way. Mike, do not interrupt and say anything bad. Um, that's who I support. And luckily I have found so many different communities. Like I say I could community hop. I feel like I'm a member of so many different communities. And that doesn't
yeah.
matter. That's what the purpose is. There's not, just because you
And
may
see,
say,
I
well,
was
Boosh
worse
Nation is
about
my
it when
number
I
one
was
community,
younger.
but I'm also a part of the fan bam over here. That's fine. Who cares?
Do you know what
You're
that
making.
does?
Yes.
Do you know what being a part of all those communities does?
No,
Well,
what?
Brings
That
people
builds
together.
your own community when you go live.
Yeah.
All
hmm
those communities that you're a part of, you're the
Mm-hmm.
one bringing them together to build your community.
absolutely.
If someone's mad at you for being somewhere else, then that's probably place you shouldn't go back to anyways. I definitely
Exactly.
feel like we need to have an entire podcast about TikTok etiquette and about gifting and about community. I feel like
I
we're
want to
gonna
be
have
part
to
of
do
that
that.
one.
Yeah.
Because holy
I
Yeah.
smokes,
feel
I
like
have
we
so
need
much
to do
to say
that.
right now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
that
have
I
a friend
think.
today who literally got an email today because he wasn't talking enough to somebody or whatever, showing up enough. And she like, I'm going to curse you. And she left him a curse. It included my name. It was crazy. There's so much stuff that happens
I
behind the
know.
scenes.
Paige,
In the
did you
name
just
of
say that
Jesus,
someone
that ain't
cursed
gonna
you?
happen.
I wasn't cursed. My friend was
Okay.
cursed.
Okay, so what you do is when you get
The
off here,
curse
make
was
sure you
me being
text
in.
her and say, "You can't be cursed and moody when shaking that booty." Okay,
I
you need to
Yeah.
spread that along.
Can't
always
keep
get the
water.
freaking those card readers or whatever that come in
hmm
my thing, and they're like, "Can I do the?" I'm like, "No, bye, get out of here."
Listen, if someone
Lord.
wants to read cards, that's fine. If someone wants to go live and read cards themselves, that's fine. If
Yeah.
you allow that in your room, that's fine. But to come into somebody else's room and think that you just come up into a box and try to business your way into someone else's business
Yeah.
is absolutely ridiculous.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
do
These
so.
are our businesses.
Yeah, I
hmm
don't do boxes very often. So
And see,
and when I do
Your live
boxes,
is your
it's somebody
house.
that I really know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
So
Think of it.
I
Your live
allow,
room, your chat,
yeah,
that's your house. That room belongs to you. You are the matriarch or the patriarch of that damn room. You're the leader of
yeah.
that damn community.
when I was in the C League, it didn't
President.
really happen that often. But since I took off, I'm back down in the D League, and I swear to God, there's multiple of them
hmm
every day.
Did you
Yeah.
know? Anthony, do you want to say something before I go? I think you were trying to say something, maybe.
Oh, I was just saying, like I allow who I allow in my room
Right,
or in
hmm
exactly.
my
And it is
live.
up to your discretion. You
Yeah,
know, you have no one to answer to. It is your discretion. If you don't want to
yeah,
let someone up and they get mad about it, that's their problem. That's not
Yep.
your
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, if I don't trust them, I'm not going to let them up in my life.
Because we can lose our accounts by letting people up into boxes if
Exactly.
they say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, wearing the wrong thing. We can lose our accounts. We can lose our house. We can lose our
Yeah,
business.
Yeah.
yeah,
And guess what? They have no repercussion. We do.
yeah,
With that
I'm
being
always
said,
preaching to protect your account.
Yep.
Always protect your account.
because it can be taken from you at any time. There's no guarantee that you're going to keep this account.
yeah.
And
And it could be for something that someone else did.
Yep.
when I first started going live, I didn't do boxes. I I agreed to open boxes one day. I was stuck for 15 hours hosting boxes, begging these people to get out of my boxes so I could go to bed because I had to work. I was working it was my day off and I worked 16-hour days at the time plus went live and it was my day off. It was 15, 16 hours into it and I was like, "You know what?" And I didn't realize that I could have done that the whole time.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
but you can hit
I
the
didn't
end button.
I didn't I was that person who didn't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
was that person who didn't want to shut down on people and upset somebody. But I
Well, you got to
realized real
protect
quick
your peace.
it,
Boundaries,
it
boundaries.
it taught
Boundaries are
me real
important.
quick that people didn't care about mine. So
Yes.
guess who's going to care about mine from now on? Me, which is the same
Absolutely.
that all
Hmm.
y'all need to do.
So
It
true.
doesn't matter who's in your box. It doesn't matter if they're level 50 in your room. It doesn't. And a lot of people are about to get real mad when I say this. It don't matter if they're a level 50 gift or a level 50 badge in your room. It doesn't matter who the F you are. You do not own the person who is running that room. And they can shut down. They can do whatever they want. They can battle. They can do whatever the
Same
hell they
goes with
want.
co-hosting. I have never been a battler until more recently, and I co-host people and I get to know a lot of people. And lately, I have had many people come to my room angry with me because I didn't accept their co-host. And I'm
Mm.
like, I feel bad, but I'm like, and it's friends sometimes. I'm like, are
Yep.
you a friend? Because I have to build my room and take care of my people, and I want to co-host you. I do, but I just battled so and so and so and so. I need a minute with my people. Like you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
understand, and don't come
Yeah.
to my room and say I'm mad
In
at you right now. This has
Yep.
been happening a ton. It'll probably happen tonight. It's been happening every single day lately.
It
There's
happens
been
all the time. And
there's been
it's
a
so sad.
handful of go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because I'm
There's
nice.
been a handful of
That's what she
times
said.
where I was in Johnny Vibe's room, right? And
Mhm.
like I threw out like so many gifts, whatever, and I was the top gifter. And like I guess because of how much I had gifted, he's like I forget what happened, but like he kind of wanted to like end the live and then restart. But he's like, Jewel, and I was at work, so I didn't know he was waiting on me. And he's like, Jewel, like, is it okay if I end and restart, end and restart? And I'm like, dude, you could have ended it. I wouldn't have cared.
Do you know why he asked that?
Yeah,
I do.
because he
Because
didn't
that
want
makes
you to
sense.
lose your spot.
He didn't
He
want you
Hmm.
to
didn't
lose your
want you
spot.
to think
Which
that
is
your
a
gifts
kind
went to
There's
heart,
nothing.
but again,
there's a
it's his room.
so
He
I want Johnny
you're a
is
good
a
person, Jewel.
Johnny Vibes.
He's
Yeah.
I
amazing.
He's
He's
amazing.
amazing.
I didn't know who he was at first, and I'm gonna even sit here and tell you, for there was a moment I wasn't sure about him. I wasn't sure I liked him. I'll be 100% honest,
Yeah. You
but I
told me.
didn't know him. I
Right.
didn't know
Right.
him yet, and I always give people a chance. And once I got to know him, man, he is a beautiful soul,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I'll be the
I've known
first
him
to
for
tell you
about a year
he's a
now.
beautiful soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And sometimes they end alive because they don't want you to lose your spot, but also there's so many people going around and reporting people and getting people. Do you know if your gifting gets suspended, you lose all the money that you made?
That's when he shuts his down. That's when he shuts his down because
Yeah.
it happened to
So
him the last time. It took his
yeah,
money
it's happened to me.
on lot. We sat there and watched it. He saw it come out. Like they took his money.
Mhm. I will tell you right
I
now
kind
that
of feel like that's what happened whenever he was asking me.
Yeah.
I had a
That's the only
live
time I've ever
where
seen him into life was when he was getting
I had a
restriction and he
live
had to hurry up and get off.
where I had made
Mm.
$3,000 in one live. I had made $3,000. Do you know what happened? There were some people who weren't so happy about that. Like they didn't know what I'd made, but they had seen the things going across the screen, and out of jealousy, they were reporting. Well, in case y'all don't know, if you are part of an agency, your manager knows you're being reported. Your manager can send you a message. I got that message. I was too late. All of a sudden, gifting suspended. I lost $3,000 because people
Oh
were
my
upset.
god.
because people were mad that they weren't able to do that.
Right.
Guys, if you think that that's where I started or Johnny started or any of these larger hosts started, I promise you, we started right where you are right now. You know, you don't ask for things. You're just being thankful for every rose. You're being thankful for everything thrown. And you just got to learn how to maneuver your rooms, and you'll get there too. Never hate on someone for their success. Never, ever. Because if you're hating on someone for their success, I hate to tell you, you're not going to be successful yourself. You've
Right.
already messed up in the game.
Right.
Right.
And I hate to
You got
plug
to clap for
myself on
others
another
before you
podcast that
get
I'm a
clapped
part of,
for.
but if you want to know how Johnny Vibes got started, listen to Unapologetically Marrying the Cornbread Chronicles when his show comes out, because I just did a show with him last week and he discusses all that. Just saying,
All right,
Yes.
Joe.
plugging in myself on
I
my own shit.
I am
But I
going
hate
to
to
have to
say
get
we
ready
have
to
to
jump
wrap
off
it
here.
up, but we've had Paige
Yes.
for an hour and a half, and I know she's got to get her live and
Best
everybody to
go
get to their
live.
things. But I honestly, and I'm totally serious, I wouldn't have asked for a different first guest. And I think as well as this went, like, I don't even think we need to stay and do another intro. I think we did enough of that in here. It went a lot better than I ever imagined it was going to go on our first one. So y'all are free to exit when y'all leave after here. But
I'm not going nowhere. You can't make
I'm
me.
so proud of this team, and I'm so honored, Paige, that you were our first guest and gave us the opportunity to have you here, to have this safe space to share your story, that you believed in us enough, to share. And you guys, not plugging myself a damn again, but she records with me tomorrow as well. So she gets to see my face again tomorrow. And we'll get to discuss her story all over again for everyone else to see that hasn't started following the truth table. But Anthony, do you have any last words? I think everyone should give some last words before we click and exit.
I love you guys. And yeah, I love you guys.
Here's your kiss.
I love you guys and I'm proud of you all.
Well, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come on your first ever podcast, and I'm really excited to see what y'all do. Seems like a great group. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Paige.
Anytime.
I can't stand any of you. First off, that's where I want to start at. Um, but at the same
Nerd.
time, I want to say, Anthony, I'm so proud of you for being you, and I'm so grateful to know you. You are a brother now. Jewel, I have yet to hear your story, but I'm looking so forward to it. You as a person have brightened my soul, and you are a sister now. Paige, you know you will always be my best friend. You know you will always have me in your life. You know I'm there for you no matter what, and I am so proud of you. And Marin, last but not least, thank you for bringing us together and giving us this opportunity and just being who you are.
Yes.
Now, with all that being said, if you all are watching this and you haven't found every single person that is in this podcast on any platform or all platforms, matter of fact,
What you doing?
what are you doing?
So I
We
will
see
say
you
that
stalking our pages.
Right.
Hit that follow button.
like, comment, share, subscribe to our channels. But
Right.
you guys, like, I really am so proud of each and every one of you. And I know we've said it a million times tonight. Like, I wouldn't have came to you guys with a vision if I didn't believe in you from the start. And I believed in y'all before I really even knew y'all. And I felt it. And Paige, you're the same way. That when I said I felt you through the screen, I mean it. I do, and I feel you every night. Like you're so kind, you're so pure, genuine, and just
Right back at you.
authentic, very authentic. That's why I'm there. That's where I go at night now when I can't sleep. I go hang out with Paige.
She's on
But
all night long.
Yeah.
we came up with this concept with each other, and we were throwing out names and throwing out ideas, and we came up with the truth table, where things may not be easy, but they're real and they're raw. They're unfiltered. They're unscripted. You're gonna hear the messy stuff, the chaotic stuff, the dumb shit. We're gonna cuss. We're gonna pray for you at the same time. We are going to uplift you in any way that we can. We want to be able to be there to have a safe space for you to share your story, to just be loved on, and to help yourself make a difference and help yourself understand yourself, because it's so healing to share your story and know that you're going to be touching the lives of others. And like we say, at the truth table, we are four totally different people who live four totally different walks of life, but we have one vision and one voice and no damn filter, because we are the truth
That's
table, you guys, where we are unapologetic AF. Until the next time, check on your strong friends. Always ask how the mental
Always.
health is. And you guys just stay tuned to the next one, because we ain't going nowhere. Until the next one.